Looking at the current trends, the rate at which the technology is progressing, the future is bound to be disruptive. Each and every sector is going to witness some changes like never before and will definitely get transformed. Automobile industry is no different from it. Welcome to the brand new episode of the Tech Ketchup Show on Nerd for Tech Originals. And in this episode, I have with me Saifil Saiyadali Momin, who is working as a mechanical design engineer at Tesla. In this episode, he discusses about how Tesla is going to transform the automobile industry and also the usage of energy in the coming years. In this conversation, he also focuses on the need and importance of sustainability in this present era. Watch this episode till the end, and this is your host Kushagra Srivastav. See you on the other side. So, welcome to the podcast, and I hope you enjoy this conversation today and have a great time with us. To begin with this entire conversation, I wish to ask why Tesla is so elite the way it is. I wish to ask this question from you because you are someone who is experiencing the world, the people, the ideology of the company. So, could you just elaborate over this point?
Okay, so I think it is elite right now because of its vertical integration.
Okay.
It's basically like an iPhone where you are a part of the ecosystem, and the different aspects of it are so interconnected and so well integrated that you get a different experience. And uh, just drawing an analogy, even though you know Android phones make innovations, say for example fingerprints, but iPhones perfect it at the end of the day because they integrate it so well and the user experience comes out to be great. Same is with Tesla. Say for example, uh, from manufacturing to developing their own full self-driving softwares, to having their own supercharger networks, it's a complete experience. And it's basically you are living a lifestyle. So they also have facilities like you can buy a adapter of charger and put it in your garage,
Yeah.
so you never have to stop anywhere for your when you are commuting for your daily needs. So it's a lifestyle basically what you buy in, and it's a whole ecosystem that makes it elite and gives it that good user experience.
Great. So what Tesla is working on is something which is like something which is disruptive in the automobile industry. We can say that something which is disruptive in and is going to be more disruptive as the time progresses. So how do you go about the future of automobile industry from from your mindset and from someone being into that industry and working with a company that is exploring so much into that world?
Okay, yeah, you made a good point that it's doing disruptive thing.
Yeah.
So Tesla has also an advantage that it's a first mover in the EV market,
Exactly.
and it's been here for like more than I guess 10 years now.
Yeah.
So it has seen everything, and it has basically laid down a roadmap. But going down the line, I guess there will be a point, as far as it's my opinion
Yeah.
completely. But biggest advantage right now that Tesla would have, or the biggest disruption it is kind of making right now, is it's in the energy, not
Yeah.
in the automotive.
Exactly. Exactly.
The automotive is a part, but it's a means. But
Yeah.
the greater thing that will happen is the takeover of the sustainable energy. So they
Definitely.
are integrated not only in the form of the transportation or mobility in terms of automotive, but then if you see, they have the capabilities in terms of solar panels.
Yeah.
They have capabilities in terms of battery storage systems, and
Exactly.
then the battery deployment in terms of their power walls, for mobility in terms of their cars. So it's basically, there will be a down the line where the oil and gas energy production would be a lot portion of the shares of this oil and gas energy production would be taken over by solar.
Yeah,
and that would basically be a bigger disruption than just EV. And
exactly.
that's why Tesla is poised right now, well poised than the other competitors who are coming in. So that's how I see the future of Tesla.
Great. Also, like, since you're working in the company and you know the stuffs that actually Tesla works on in a more broader aspect. So, like, what are some of the core things that Tesla actually focus while building a product? Like, what are some of the points that Tesla actually focuses on why they are working something on something which is new, or that is a core part of every product that Tesla is working on.
So I guess the core part is innovation. You and thinking out of the box. It's a new company, and it has its sort of advantages. Uh, it it basically tells you a problem statement,
Okay.
and it never bounds you in any way to a particular solution or a way of thinking. It's like you have your brainstorming of the solution. You can come up with the craziest of the ideas, and if you feel that it's feasible, you try to make it work as the solution. It's not like, we have a preconceived baggage of past experience where you bring up an out of box opinion, and people would be like, no, I think what we have is better right now, we should not go that down that path.
Okay.
So what Tesla does is takes up a problem, discusses solution, and never judges the solution until you have 100% surety that it's not feasible.
Okay.
So it's innovation at its core. Every day it's a challenging thing. Every day you see new problems. You think about solving it in a different way. And at the center, I guess Tesla focuses a lot on customer experience.
Okay.
Um, of course, Tesla has some issues here and there because it's a new company, but then it's always thinking about customer. Serviceability and all the stuff. What our customers are going to get at the end of the day is very core to Tesla, in my opinion.
Great. So, like, what I believe, Tesla is one of the prestigious organization, one of the most prestigious organization in the world to work with. So, is it overwhelming to work out there with some of the brilliant brains of the world? Sometimes,
Oh God, it freaks out. It freaks you out sometimes.
yeah,
I still remember my first day as an intern at Tesla, and having absolutely no real industry experience.
yeah,
Uh, when I actually was meeting those designers or my colleagues who are my colleagues now, um, introducing myself and everything, and just knowing that they have sheer 3 years experience, 8 years experience, 10 years experience in the industry, and with Tesla, and
yeah,
just knowing that fact was freaking me out, and I was like, oh damn, will I be able to perform well for 5 months of my internship there? Will I be up to the mark? And it was freaking me out. I was feeling each and every minute pass by, and I was
yeah,
feeling that pressure on me. But then the attitude of the people is so great here. It's like, no one comes with an attitude of saying that, hey, I have 8 years of experience and
oh,
I know this is right and this is wrong. And no one is authoritarian here. Everyone is so open and, let's figure this out together kind of attitude. And that really made, my confidence go up as an intern and eventually as a full timer now. It's so collaborative. We have these meetings every now and then where we go
yeah,
to the whiteboard, kind of actually think everything through, first principles, and no one's opinion is dominated by the other ones. So it's overwhelming, yes, the amount of work, the amount of innovation, the things they ask you to do and stuff, but it's fun because people around it make it fun, irrespective of how experienced they are, how new they are. Everyone is welcome to give their opinion equally.
great. So, like, moving a bit on the philosophical side of this, you as you said, like, people are more collaborative out there, and they have an open mindset. So, as a person, that is something which actually boosts an individual who is just beginning his journey into the professional world. Now, how like because when there is a company as big as Tesla, there must be opinions which actually don't there must be multiple opinions which actually don't coincide with each other, or there are arguments, which there are arguments and there are healthy arguments, but it actually depends on the person listening, who is listening to how well they take that argument forward. So now, uh,
Yeah.
how as an individual, you in a company like Tesla uh, are managing, are managing situations where there are arguments and there are opinions being put up, but you constantly are evolving around those opinions and arguments, so that you just don't limit yourself to your opinions and get obsessed with your opinions, but also
Mhm.
give way to different opinions, and then try understand, okay, what was wrong with my opinion, or what is different, what's the difference in my opinion and the opinion of and the other opinions.
Yeah. So firstly, let me correct you. Tesla is not a big company.
Okay.
Um, it's a pretty small company in terms of automotive standards.
Yeah.
It's a pretty small growing company right now, I would say.
Correct.
And yeah, I think having difference of opinions about a particular problem is bound to happen in any company,
Exactly.
in any field. And I believe the best way to knock this off is actually objectify your decisions. Um, so I mean, you have decision matrix, like, for example, you say, the solution that you propose will require so and so changes on my end, and it translates to so and so cost on the company. It translates to so and so amount of weight on the vehicle, so and so amount of difficulty in manufacturing and all this stuff. So you build up your argument for a particular solution, um, and then the same is done by the person who is proposing the solution, and then you sit down on the same page and you compare it, and you figure it out what makes more sense for the company, in terms of the resources, because sometimes it so happens that your solution may be the quickest,
Yeah.
or is less costly,
Exactly.
is easier. It will make things easier over the time, but it requires an extensive resource right now to develop it, and it takes a longer time. And, and, and as you know how quickly Tesla works or improves,
Yeah.
sometimes the time is just not enough to execute something. So you basically sit down, have this discussion as a high level, and you keep your company's goals as center, and then you lock down a final decision. So it's all objective. It's never like, I have my opinion, you have your opinion. We have a solution. We all make it objective. We objectify it in terms of costs, weights,
Okay.
what it would take, how much is the timing it gonna take, does it work with the programs or not, and then we lock down on the solution. So that's how we resolve issues.
Okay. Great. Like you are working as a design engineer, if I'm right, like, yeah, you're working as a design engineer at Tesla. So like what exactly the work of a design engineer at Tesla looks like, and what are the projects or products that you work on, the kind of responsibility and roles that you have at Tesla? So if you could explain that.
So on high level, there, like, a mechanical designer at Tesla would basically own parts as an employee, uh, and that part varies depending on what team you are. My team basically works on a lot of plastic parts, um, which are A class as in the parts which are visible to the public, as well as the parts which are on the other side, which is called as the B side parts.
Okay.
There are teams like, body team, which works on metal parts. There are closures teams which works on A class parts, but are also metal parts, and they have mechanisms moving with respect to each other. So every team owns certain commodities, and every designer under that team owns certain parts. And when I say own a part, it means that he's responsible from the very start. Like, um, taking a part as a concept and then developing it while resolving all the integration issues. Whereas integration, you mean um, checking for the surrounding parts, how you can integrate that part with the surrounding environment. uh, you need to take care of how easy it is to assemble your part on the car. What is the quickest, easiest way to assemble? You have to, depending upon your manufacturing process, you also have to develop your design to suit that process, such that it is easier to manufacturing. So you basically take that part or that commodity from the concept all the way to the production ready design. And then when the part is there and the cars are built, you own all the problems that come in, all the customer issues that come in with the part, and you are responsible for improving that design over the time.
Okay.
So that's how it looks like. And every design problem has its own area. Some of the parts, you have a different challenges. Like when you are dealing with A class, appearance is pretty much driving factor. If you are designing a B side, then, for example, if the part is structural part, then
Okay.
your structure should be strong enough to bear the load. So each part or each commodity has its own challenges, and that's what is the best thing. You always see new things coming to you. It's not like for your term of employment you'll be working for the same thing all the time.
Wow.
You will be challenged every day, and it's fun. That's the fun part of
Wow. So like uh, I understand that there are challenges, there are new challenges every day. There is something new to work on each day, and the working of the company, the organization is quite dynamic in its sense. So how do you take it that dynamism? Like how do you perceive that dynamism of the company and use it as a weapon or as an instrument to boost your productivity for the organization? How do you use that dynamism and challenges of the company to just boost your productivity?
So I guess it's in the DNA and the organization structure. It's like it's a flat organization structure.
Okay.
I mean, flat as in, I mean, if there is something pressing and you need you need a higher level management. You need to pull the eyes of higher level management towards your problems. There is no hierarchy where you need to talk to your manager and then your manager talks to the higher level manager. It's not like that.
Okay.
If there is something pressing, you just flag it right there, and you can reach out to any person there,
Okay.
who can help you out. So that's how you are very productive. Like, you don't have to go through hierarchy. It's a fast process, and if it's pressing enough, you can just walk up to the people and you just, hey, I think I'm going through this situation, and you can help me out in this. Do you have a few minutes to talk? It's not. I would say it's so flat that you can approach anyone anytime. If it's a very critical issue and it's a very time sensitive issue, so that boosts your productivity as a person automatically. The other thing is, it's everything, like all the approvals, it's very centric to solving problem. If something is solving problem, there will be no questions asked. If you're justifying the gains, there will be no questions asked. It will be implemented as in the fastest possible way. uh, and 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 then one more thing is that you always go for the aggressive targets. You never go for anything less than aggressive. If there is a if you did one program in, say, for example, 1 year,
Okay.
it is expected that the other program, you should be doing it in 8 months,
Okay.
because it considers that in that 1 year development cycle you have learned some lessons and you can be quicker.
Yeah.
Irrespective of what program is, you accelerate yourself, you become quicker and quicker. And I mean, it's basically very effective. You
Yeah.
And it's all from our leader, Elon. He always pushes or us on very aggressive targets. If you might have seen his tweets all the time. He Sometimes it does happen that he tweets and then we get to know the stuff, and
Yeah.
that's how we get to know about the deadlines, and we are like, oh god, okay. we didn't know this, and I think we need to figure out a way to do it in the timeline, and more often than not, we pull it off. So it strengthens our belief as well. Then yes, it can be done in so much of less time.
This is just a fanboy question. Ever had like you had that chance of interacting with Elon Musk like in one-to-one manner?
No, I haven't not yet. I want to, but
Yeah,
yeah, let's see. But I've seen him around.
yeah,
I've seen him on the stage
yeah,
during our all hand meetings and stuff,
exactly.
but never had a chance to say a hi or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard some scary stories about him. You know,
Could you just tell if that allows you to tell anything which is like not much known into the public domain, which you have?
uh, I'm not sure, but these are just stories, and I'm pretty sure people might be aware that if
Yeah.
he's pretty practical person. If you are a resource, you are in Tesla. If you are not a resource, then and if he feels that you are not justifying the amount of money you are getting paid, then you don't deserve to be in Tesla. So if you interact and if he feels that you are not a fit resource right now, then you might face tough challenges there.
Okay.
So people say just try not to have a one-on-one with
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll see if I get a chance.
Definitely. Also, the kind of what I believe, the kind of mentality he carries with himself, the kind of mindset that he has, that's it's quite as you said, like very like you said, aggressive. You use the term aggressive. That's the kind of mindset he has towards the progress, towards the progress he wants to see. So what I believe, that's why his whatever organization he has been a part of is working so dynamically and so disruptively in whatever field they are working. So that has been a key. So like the kind, like you said already, the kind of mindset your leader is having definitely moves you a lot in getting and achieving your targets. So has that mindset and that philosophy of his of making more efforts towards progress, has that affected you in somehow in your personal life as well, apart from your professional life? Definitely apart from your professional life, has that mindset affected you somehow in your personal life as well?
Yes, definitely. It trickles down to you when you are part and you're part of the Tesla DNA. It's like you want to be more resourceful. You want to be more thinking
Yeah.
in your personal life. So I was not much of a fan of thinking about economics of
Okay.
anything, but now that I'm in a nitty gritty of Tesla and understand how the big decisions are made and all this stuff. I evaluate all the choices economically in my life as well now.
Yeah.
And I have like just developing that mindset that okay, I have a target of, say for example, buying a car. So I'll give myself a deadline first. I want to buy a car in so after so and so month, and have a roadmap that okay, according to current situation, I'll for so and so years I'll be doing this. For so and so years, I have a deadline to buy this, that. So it trickles down that you become very aggressive in your objectifying your plans and everything. It trickles down definitely.
Exactly. Exactly. So is like whatever products or projects you have worked with Tesla, is there any favorite one or not favorite, that's a project or a product that has really may like grow yourself into someone you hadn't imagined of yourself, a personality, that a project that has helped you to grow yourself to that extent? Is there any special product or project that like this sort of?
Yeah. So I don't think so. I can um, explicitly mention
Yeah,
what
definitely.
products I was a part of,
Definitely.
but again, as I said, starting as an intern and then coming out of that internship completely changed me.
Okay.
Um, I think going into the internship, I I did have a mindset that I'll face challenges, but I would have never thought the way I left the internship with so much of knowledge,
Yeah.
being at the center of the design, like, and it's not even like a typical internship where you are asked to do some sideline things. You
Yeah.
were in that, no, nitty gritty of the things. You were right there in the middle of the design phase, developing a design. Of course, you were guided by senior designers, which was so wonderful. But you actually designed something, and that came into fruition down the line, and you could actually see your design coming to life. That was the most wonderful thing. And just the sheer amount of knowledge I got and the concepts that I developed during my internship,
Yeah.
uh, it was a big missing thing. I never, I don't think so any amount of work experience could amount to that 7 months internship that I had. It was a life changing. It was transformation. And as I said, I'm still learning every day. There's so much of knowledgeable people around me, so many new things coming to me, and it's an attitude where I can just go and talk to people about their opinion, and that just unlocks so much of learning every day. Um, in terms of what's dear to me, I guess your first projects which you work on will always be dear to you.
Exactly.
I did work on a part which was one of the metallic parts. The other was a plastic part. So I had a good opportunity of learning the fundamentals of developing both of these parts. Um, and yeah, just a comprehensive experience I had was so wonderful. And all the projects I'm doing right now, I cannot disclose it, or you
Exactly.
know, it won't be safe to disclose it. But whatever I'm doing right now, I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Great.
and I'm really excited to take over whatever comes my way. It's and even though it's stressful, unnerving sometimes, you have to choose your work over anything else, but that's fun of it. You are doing something great. People are looking at Tesla as a world changing,
Definitely.
something who is doing great for this earth, and that's what motivates you, and you can feel it, and that's why you do more.
Wow. So, like, being a part and doing such a great job with an organization that is almost going to change the, at least we can say, the automobile industry of the world, the scenarios of automobile industry of the world. So, and the ideologies that on which the company is running. So, how has been your philosophy and ideologies of your personal life being affected by working at Tesla? How has there been any change in your ideologies and philosophies for life, and your personal goals, which, like, your goals that you had at one point of time before working at Tesla, but now after working for some time at Tesla, how has the company affected your goals for the coming future?
So I I didn't have any, I would say, personal goals. I did have a personal goal of finding a good job, and then
Yeah.
making an impact at whatever I do. Always was driven to do that, but never did I ever thought that I would be joining a company that is actually making so much of impact. um,
Exactly.
but once I was in, um, I just wanted to do the things right. I just wanted to do whatever comes my way. I would do it right,
Yeah.
and the results will speak for themselves, basically. And yes, uh, as a employee of Tesla, I naturally got obsessed with the Tesla products,
Yeah.
because I got to use them. I got to know what goes into it, and now my goal actually looks like something. If I buy a house, it got to have a Tesla solar roof on top of it. It's got to have a Tesla power wall in the garage. It's got to have Tesla charging, and definitely want to buy a Tesla car.
Great.
So my work actually designed all this, or led me to have this personal goal of having a good integrated life. And I was not so much into sustainable life. I couldn't care less. Before joining Tesla, I couldn't care less about being sustainable. Like caring about resources in sustainable manner, but
Exactly.
just looking at the impact Tesla is making with each and every growing year, it's kind of releasing its global impact report, and
Yeah.
just sheer looking at the impact it has made in terms of carbon dioxide
Yeah.
reduction, um, how much of the energy is generated per year in a sustainable manner.
Exactly.
It motivates you. It draws you towards that sustainable life, and you just don't want to create all those problems that are being created for so many years. You want to be a part of the solution driven company. So that's how my personal goal now looks like after joining Tesla, to basically integrate a lifestyle of
Great.
sustainability.
Great. So that was a great conversation with you. Just a last question, because like you have your own journey, you have traveled your own journey, and still there is a lot to learn, and you are learning at a constant pace. So now, is there any particular resource, like particular book or something that any resource, be it a book, podcast, any blogs that you usually read or go through, that actually has helped you a lot in not just your professional life but also in your personal life, and to grow as a complete person or as a better person? If you could share that resource with us, some of those resources with us.
Okay, so in terms of resource, I guess so my philosophy has always been get your basics right.
Okay, right.
Your so I wasn't a great I would say novel reader or reader avid reader outside academics. I would say if you have identified your passion, or I would say if you are lucky enough to know what you know early on, because there are a lot of people who are just so undecided,
Exactly.
and until they realize and it's too late. But if you are lucky enough to understand what you love and what you want to do, make sure you learn the basics of it right. And learning basics of it now includes doing something outside your class. Whatever you learn in your class is a bare minimum. You need to understand that.
Exactly.
Nowadays people feel that I've done my schooling right, I've got good grades, and that's enough.
Yeah.
But that's a bare minimum. It's a kind of a line that you crossed, but then what you do outside the class, or uh, what skills you develop outside your class is what matters. So
Mm.
say for example, so I did my engineering right. I had all my fundamentals cleared up, and I was among the good graders. But during the vacations, I used to take some time off. I used to do whatever I used to like. Like I used to design cars,
Okay.
and not even like I used to take some course or something. I just used to, you know, take whatever. I used to think a design. I used to just start, designing it on a computer, and it wasn't like someone is going to grade me or someone was going to appreciate me. But I just did it because I wanted to do it. I learned it,
Yeah.
and I guess that was the thing that set me apart at the end. I think when I applied for the internship, I also sent this work which I did as an extra work during the vacation. I actually created a one pager with all the images, renderings, and all
Yeah.
the stuff that I did. And I think that was at play, I guess, and that made me stand out. So the best resource I would say is do something outside your class,
Yeah.
do something extra
Yeah.
related to whatever you are interested in,
Exactly.
and try to apply it. Basically, if you learn something in your class, you think of the ways you can use in your real world,
Mm.
how it will help you to authenticate your skills. Like you can write in your resume that you are good at CAD designing, you are good at sketching. But then if you have never applied it, if you have never sketched, if you have never CAD, what are the things you are going to show? So make yourself authentic more. Do the stuff, apply the stuff. Um, that's how you kind of stand out, doing more than what is needed.
Yeah. Well, that was a great conversation, and I hope you enjoyed this session with us. And thanks. It was an honor hosting you. And to all the
It was
listeners who whoever who all are listening to whatsoever platform, just like, subscribe, and share to the Tech Ketchup Show, a nerd for tech originals, to listen to such amazing conversations. This is your host Kushagra Srivastav signing off. Thanks a lot, sir.